Well, good morning. It's about 5 past midnight. I've not been home long from the game, and I thought I'd just jump on, do a live. There might be a few people out there going to join. If you are, welcome in, and if you're watching on catch up, yeah, get your comments in the comments section. We'll go for 175 likes on this stream. Hit the subscribe button and get involved. And we're also sponsored by the Bad Shirt Club. Head over to the website to get your bucket hats, your jackets, your shirts. Christmas range coming soon. Yeah, use the code TSC30 at the checkout. My head is all over the show. I cannot believe what I've watched tonight. Ipswich Town 0, Charlton Athletic 3 at Portman Road. It finished. It was 0-0 at half time. And then Town proceeded to collapse like a deck of cards with 3 goals in 12 minutes for the Addicts. Carey, Gillespie, Miles Leeburn off the bench, and it was 3 points for Nathan Jones's men. Congratulations to Charlton, deserved victory. Town, just so many questions to be answered. But yeah, first of all, it was 7 changes for Kieran Mckenna's men, which too many. That's way too many. For me, that smacks of a little bit of arrogance. I think you're treating it like a cup tie. I just 7. It's just way too many. I can't get my head around it. We started with Palmer in goal, Ashley Young coming in at right back for Darnell Furlong. Jacob Greaves came back in for Kit Prey. He partnered Dara O'Shea in defence, and Leif Davis was at left back. Marcelino Nunes got a start in midfield alongside Jens Gajust, and then we proceeded to change the whole 3 behind the striker. Well, the front 4, Jack Clark, Chuba Akpom, Casey McAteer, and Yvonne Azon making his first start at Portman Road. Good morning, Stephen Felks. We don't look like a team. Stephen Gurley says Mckenna is clutching at straws. I thought first off, right, I didn't think we were terrible. Pretty much in control of the game. Good evening, good morning, James. He says that was awful. Still really angry. What's annoying me is people making excuses for that. Kieran McKenna's credit in the bank is officially gone. There you go. But yeah, first off, on top, pretty much it was Town having a lot of the ball and Charlton sitting in. And then we see Alex Palmer go down. I think it's a muscle tear. So Mckenna said afterwards on the radio, listen to that, coming back on Suffolk. A lot of people texting in not happy, and then quite a lot of people texting in defending the manager. Not sure I'm going to defend him after that tonight. But yeah, Palmer had to go off, and Christian Walton came on. But first half, we just didn't hit the target enough. Azon has a shot that Kaminsky saved. Akpom hits the bar. I think he should score. I think if he just a little bit calmer in front of goal, he lashes at it and it smashes off the bar. You could say that's unlucky. I think he should score. That was a good bit of football and a good break. He did say we can take some positives. He said there was a lot of players had positive performances, James. But yeah, then they had a couple of chances, Charlton, on the break. One where Ashley Young gave the ball away. I thought he was poor tonight. I don't really see the point of changing your right back. I'm not really sure what he was doing, changing Furlong. Don't really get that. Yeah, he made a mistake, lost the ball. Walton done a good save, and there was one just before half time from a corner. I'm not quite sure how the guys missed it. North stand end, he's put it wide. So we go in at 0-0. We've controlled the game. We just haven't really worked their goalkeeper. Tommy, B4N says, what's the strangest item you've... I'm not reading that out, not even at this time of morning. we were in control, but we just, as always, lot of ball, lot of passing. We never worked the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper just doesn't get worked enough. Nunes had a great free kick right on half time, just landed on top of the net. But we go in at 0-0, and you're thinking, yeah, we're in control here. If we can get the first goal, we're probably going to go and win that game. We come out after half time. Chuba Akpom has a great chance. Jack Clark puts it literally on his head. And I'm not sure how he heads it wide. Should score from about 6 yards out. But then, long ball, poor header from Dar O'Shea. Goes to their midfielder, and he just carries the ball. He carries the ball, and O'Shea runs away from him, and he just buries it past Christian Walton. It's 1-0 to Charlton, and we're thinking, all right, there you go, there's your goal. Christian search, I'd like Harry Clark and Burns to come back. Well, Wes Burns is on the grass. He'll be back hopefully after the next international break. Not sure about Harry Clark. Not sure where he comes in. We've got too many right backs. We see Ben Johnson tonight. He comes on the left back. We've not seen him since Portsmouth. Weird. James says Clark played well. So we give the goal away. 3 minutes later, 2-0 to Charlton. Gillespie with worked it down the right-hand side, crossed into the box, drove in. I think Walton sort of half saves it, pops out. No one reacts, heads it into the empty net. And then the third goal, 3 goals in 12 minutes. I think the ball does go out there over the touchline. I think it's Campbell. I think he cuts it back, and I'm not sure what Walton's doing. He goes down there and the ball goes over his head, and Lieberman, literally, he's been on the pitch like a couple of minutes. I don't think he can quite believe his luck, and he just nods it into an empty net. And you're thinking 3-0. I mean, after that, we had a lot of the ball. We got a goal was disallowed for offside, but huffing and puffing, made some subs. Yeah, but we all come away from that game tonight. Like, everyone has different thoughts, and there'll be your people saying the players have to do better. A lot of people say the manager. It's on everybody. It's the collective. It's for me, when something goes against us. I'm not sure, James, if it was offside or not, but we're clutching at straws here. But it seems like on Friday at Middlesbrough and tonight, when the tide sort of turns a little bit against us, we just don't step up to the plate. That's where leadership comes in. Your captain, someone's got to get hold of them and say, right, come on, this isn't good enough. We've gone 1-0 down, fair enough, but that's where it stops. We're going to have 10 minutes. We're just going to get back in the game. We've collapsed. We've literally collapsed. 3 goals in 12 minutes. The game is dead after 62 minutes. I mean, that's it. Game, set, and match to Charlton. And fair play to them, and fair play to Nathan Jones, because set them up well, didn't he? Frustrated us. Never really worked the goalkeeper. I think in the game we've had 30 shots, 5 on target. We've had 16 corners, and we haven't really had much of a threat there. So, I'm struggling to sort of put into words how frustrated I am. Lack of character, says Rob Walker. Let the music play. Definitely. Craig... Oh, there he is. On the way home now, gutted. Wyrus Philogene in the form he's in at home. Look, I understand we've got a 3-game week, right? But I'm not having it anymore that these players cannot play 3 games in a week. Mick Mills on the radio, literally, look, Mick's old school, I get that, but he weren't having it that they can't play. And I totally agree with him. You know, why do you have to make 7 changes? Why do you have to make 7 changes? I do not understand. He brings back in Greaves for Kit Bray. Yeah, James, look, I'm just tired. I'm annoyed. Probably not making a lot of sense. But 7 changes, with now what 10 games in, and we got 13 points. We're sitting 13th tonight. Good evening, Tammy. There he is. Max Rax, Kieran over there in Melbourne. Wet and dreary in Melbourne today. All doom and gloom. Tammy says the last two corners, the players couldn't even be bothered to take them. They took forever to go to the corner flag. I left on, I think it was 85 minutes. I'd had enough. There was loads of people leaving before then, but I normally stick it out to the end, but I was just sitting there thinking, this is just shit. Kieran's standing there on the line with not showing a lot of emotion, which look, he doesn't show anyway. I get that. And then you've got Nathan Jones, who's the polar opposite. I mean, where I sit is quite near to the away dugout. I mean, he's chewing his fingers. He's got plasters on his fingers where he's chewing his nails. He's spitting. He's doing the old out of his nose. Total. He's lively. But yeah, look, Kieran's never been one for big on showing emotion on the touchline, and that's his character. I get that, but we need some characters to stand up here. You know, we've spent a lot of money over the last 2 years. That back-to-back promotion team just got dismantled. And to watch that team and then to watch this team at the minute, I mean, there's no comparison. There is no comparison whatsoever. You know, if that team, the promotion back-to-back team, played this team, there would only be one winner. They had everything this team doesn't have. They got mental strength. They've got character. You know, they'll put their bodies on the line for their mates. You know, this lot won't. This lot, some of them don't seem to be giving a toss. They don't, honestly. I don't want to be harsh to players, and say they're not trying, but it's like Mick Mills said on the radio. It's like when you've got that many in your squad and you're trying to keep them all happy, you shouldn't be happy if you're a sub. But this lot know that somewhere down the line they'll get a game because we've got a 3-game week here. So, I'll probably play a couple of games. It shouldn't be like that. Mercenaries. So Fallon's 5676 says, Kieran says, I can take a defeat. It's sport. 100%. I'm with you on there. Says we're not Barcelona, but performance was unacceptable. Dara needs to hand the armband in. No spine at all. No heart. Kieran Mckenna on very, very thin ice. Yeah, look, I'm not pulling the trigger on the manager yet, but when you look at the stats, and it's 7 wins in 48 league games last season and this season, the 3 teams that we've beaten is teams that are below us: Pompey, Norwich, who've gone into the bottom 3, Sheffield United. I mean, Sheffield United have had a stinking start. They're only 4 points behind us. Tammy says, Azor is the only midfielder who puts in a tackle. Don't get me started on Jens Kajust. He is one of the most overhyped players that we've had in a blue shirt for a long while. Doesn't score goals. I said this on Saturday's stream. Doesn't score, doesn't assist, doesn't tackle. Defensively as a midfielder, I think he's woeful. Ashton has to take some responsibility too. Signings in the last 3 windows have made us weaker in and out. James says, don't think we can afford to sack Kieran Mckenna and bring someone in who will cost millions. James, football don't work like that. We've got money coming out of our ears with parachute payments. If you're getting to December and you're sitting 13th where we are at the minute, he's on very, very shaky ground. He really is. I tweeted after the 3rd goal winning, this stinks of George Burley in 2002 when we'd got relegated back to the Championship and everyone was saying that Town will go straight back up. He was sacked at Grimsby after we lost 3-0, I think the next day. I remember going to that game, missing the 1st goal, bus was late, lost 3-0. George was sacked and Joe Royal come in, and that team hadn't performed. And this team spent a lot more money than they did that back then, 23 years ago, and this lot are not performing. I mean, leadership, O'Shea's not a captain. He's not a captain. You know, that 1st goal, look at what he does. Poor header, backs off. Doesn't make a challenge. The Glad runs past him and fires it into the net. I mean, it's an international player there. Him and Greaves, not a great partnership. I've said it before. Leif Davis, struggled at left back. He got hauled off. Ben Johnson come on. Ashley Young at right back I thought was poor. I thought Nunes was, decent, got on the ball, tried to make things happen. Caduced, not for me. AD Croucher says, trust the process. Who remembers that? What process have we got now? David Jackson, defence very poor. O'Shea is not good enough. He's the skipper. Do you drop your captain? There is a question. Midfield, Yen's not good enough. I thought Jack Clark was decent. McAteer. Kieran's off. He's at work. He's got to go and drive the train. Take his mind off things. Top man. We'll have a lot of Ashes chat as well, mate. So be prepared. Batten down the hatches because England are coming for you. That'll take my mind off football. A bit of cricket. If you're in the live chat, we're going for 175 likes. So hit the like button. I'll do about another 5 minutes. I'll drink me a cup of tea and then we'll go out of bed. Bit ranty this is, but I'm just really annoyed. Newcastle is the best side in the world in the next 3 years, says Ray Pennybody. Well, we'll see. Clark I thought was decent. He was all right, and then they put him onto the right. Mick Mills reckons they should play him in the 10. I thought Akpom was a little bit better tonight. He got involved more, needs a goal. McAteer. Wow. 12 million. What have we got there? Not a lot. Ivor Azon, not great. Not great. It's a massive problem, the number 9 position. I could go on about this. I could bore everybody that we've known since God knows when that Liam Delap was going to leave. And George Hurst was your backup then. He should be your backup now. Now we're not quite sure who's the number 9. Hurst probably comes back in against West Brom. Azon's very green. I think he tries hard. He needs a goal. But you've took a bit of a punt and a gamble on a Spanish, what? Was he in Spain or Italy? I can't remember. 2nd division striker. Yeah. And then the subs, Philogene. I mean, why are you not playing Jaden Philogene at home? He's been on absolute fire at home. And you put him on the bench. I don't get that. Igele, the most expensive signing in the league, he doesn't even get a minute on the pitch. I mean, yes, Tammy, it is his bread and butter. Well, not choosing a man in a match tonight for Town. I mean, I'll probably give it to Jack Clark. At least he tried. At least tried to make things work. But what do we do for Saturday? Is there another whole host of changes, which there probably will be? West Brom Saturday has now become an absolutely massive game. I mean, no points from 2 games back from the internationals. West Brom at home, and then you go to QPR. I think Mick Mills was saying as well, we played 7 home games. We've only played 4. Is it 7 home? 6? How many games we played? 10. 6 at home, 4 away. So when your home form has been your go-to, you know, Rob Walker, let the music play. I think you're right. It was a bit arrogant. James, I agree with you. We've got to get a starting 11. I've heard people now telling me Cameron Humphrey should come in the team. I mean, fuck me. Really? Sorry about my language. It is late or early, whatever way you look at it. Cameron Humphreys is not the answer. I've seen people now saying Elkan Baggett should come in. I mean, that's throwing the baby out with the bathwater. That's absolutely blows my mind. Obviously, Alex Palmer's going to be out for a little while now, so Walton's going to get a run. Christian Walton, decent player, decent goalkeeper. There you go. Craig says Humphreys isn't good enough. He is simply not good enough. But then we have paid a lot of money for a lot of these players, and they're not showing that they're good enough either at the minute. So it's just a bit of a, I don't know. We can't keep going back on about Cameron Burgess, Rob. I mean, we'd offered him a contract. He didn't want to stay. We signed Jacob Greaves. We thought he was a better player. It's not working out that way at the minute, is it? the one player that we should not have let go of is Sam Morsey. I just still, it blows my mind a little bit that we let the skipper leave. We've got no leaders in this squad. They're good individuals. They're not a team. Connor Chaplin, Tammy's playing on the right wing for Pompey, so I'm not sure what's going on there, but he's our best number 10, but he's not at the club. I mean, there's just so many questions. There's more questions than answers, like my title on Saturday's video. Yeah, but I think I've ranted enough now. I think it's time to go to bed, turn it in, and wake up in the morning and maybe be a little bit more positive that we've got another game quickly on the horizon against Albion on Saturday, 12:30 kickoff, and then I'm off to the O2 going to watch Fabio. So long old day. I don't think there's any. Kieran won't be turning it in, James, anytime soon. You know, he's got a massive contract. You know, he's one of the highest paid, if not the highest paid manager in the division. Mark, good evening. Fergie hairdryer treatment needed in the dressing room. A few players need to wake up. Well, I'm not quite sure what we say at half time, because first half display I didn't think was that bad. And then the Akpom chance just after half time, if that goes in, it's 1-0. But we just literally collapse like a deck of cards. That just says we've got a weak mentality. You know, I think we've got a very, very weak mentality. When stuff goes against us, we just can't dig in and just ride out that storm. Yeah, we let a goal in. Yeah, you're going to concede goals. Like I say, ride that out for 10 minutes, get a foothold back in the game. Don't collapse and then give them goals number 2 and 3, and then the game's over after 60 minutes. Then we just got to sit there. It's just, I hate football matches like that when you have to sit there. In the Premier League, you know, you have to suck it up because you're playing against better players. Your Man City's come down there and stuck 6 past us. I think Arsenal stuck 4. This is Charlton Athletic. This is no disrespect to Nathan Jones and Charlton, because they're doing excellent. They've gone into the playoffs, and fair play to them for tonight. You know, they've done a number on town, and they've got 3 points, and they will be absolutely delighted going back home tonight down the A12. I don't think they could quite believe their luck. But we should not be losing 3-0 at home to Charlton Athletic. I'm sorry. That's not me being arrogant. That's just me simply putting it out there that we should be better than that. You know, we shouldn't be just folding like a deck of cards. That is on. It's on the manager, but it's also on the players as well on the pitch. You know, I wouldn't say Charlton was shocking, Matt, in the first half. They had a job to do and they've done it. You know, but it's like Rob says there, it's a good time to play Town. We are, at the minute, we are poor in both boxes. You know, we are not troubling the opposition goalkeepers enough. And in our own box, we always look like we've got a mistake in us and there's something going to happen. But these players have got to stand up now. You know, there's a lot of questions being asked about them. Have they got the cojones, you know, to stand up and put a performance in against West Brom on Saturday? It's going to be on the telly. It's going to be a lot of people looking, thinking, this Ipswich team are not very good at the minute. They were favourites, people will be saying. Favourites for the league. And you've got Coventry, another win tonight. You know, Millwall, great victory, beat Stoke. Derby beat Norwich, so Norwich have gone into the bottom 3. But that gap's getting bigger, you know, and we've got to dig some results out here sometime. 80 says he agrees about being beaten 3-0 by Charlton. Kieran Mckenna has a lot to answer for that too. Tammy, yeah, I totally agree with you. Charlton defended man for man. Fair play to them. I'm not being critical of Charlton. I like Nathan Jones. He's a bit lively, but we could get 0 points in a 3-match week. That would be disastrous. Another defeat on Saturday, and I mean, Kieran's on very, very shaky ground. Then he's on shaky ground at the minute. You know, he's got to prove now that this is probably his biggest challenge at Town right now. Signed a lot of players who are not performing. Like Sega Zombie says, 7 wins in 48. That's not good in anyone's book. I mean, that is, at any most clubs up and down the country, your manager would have been sacked by now. So Kieran's done a lot of good for this team, club. He's done a lot for the fans. He's brought some really, really happy times for us all. But everything comes to an end somewhere. Is this Kieran? Is he on the slide now? Is this getting towards the end? I really hope not. I really hope that he can turn it around and show everybody that he's still a good manager. But he's got a lot of questions to be answered. But anyway, thank you for everyone who's been watching. Let's do a few quick comments. Matt says McKenna's biggest weakness is recruitment. That's just not on him. That's on Ashton as well. So John Sharp says McAteer, what a total waste of money. Rob Walker says losing becomes a habit. And Stephen Girling says all too Pally at the top. That's one to end on. Anyway, cheers for watching, everyone. If you're watching back, get involved in the comments. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe. Robert Fox says Wolfen and Burgess, Morty, Luongo, Chaplin and Broadhead. That's a lot of senior players tried and trusted, which the club let go in the summer. You can't keep them all, but it was too many at once. Yeah, there's been massive change. You know, a lot of players leaving, a lot of players coming in. And at the minute, it's all a bit of a mess. Anyway, as D. Ream sung, things can only get better. I'm off to bed. We'll be back later in the week for the West Brom preview and a preview of Parker versus Wardley at the O2 on Saturday night. So thank you for watching. Have a great night's sleep. Wake up in the morning and it'll have all been a bad dream. I know it wasn't. It finished Ipswich Town 0, Charlton Athletic 3. Cheers for watching and see you on the next one.